Hi guys, welcome to my next video it's my analysis series really, although this is driven mainly around coaching, and this week I will be coaching the average FIFA dad, so my co-partner for the FUT Casual podcast, through one of his Division 3 games and rivals. So Chris, how you doing, mate?
I'm good, mate. I'm good. I'm looking forward to it. I've been actually quite buzzing for this since I actually played the games to give you something to coach. As I've mentioned on the pod a few times, I really feel like I'm struggling with gameplay this year, and I know part of that is down to playing the game a hell of a lot less this year through various circumstances as opposed to last year. But yeah, I'm kind of a little bit lost as to where I'm going wrong. So yeah, I'm looking forward to you to actually tell me. And
I'm not going to refer to you as Chris. I don't like referring to you as the average FIFA dad. I will just refer to you as Denny throughout this video. So this is your team in front of me. You set up 4-4-2 in game, so I'm guessing it's like Rodrigo, Richarlison up top, Sissoko, Ronaldo in the middle, and then everyone else naturally falls in position.
Yeah, this is kind of my transition team. I kind of half started to get the team together with the sort of some of the Black Friday crashes, but yeah, so it's changed again now, if you know what I mean. So I don't know whether that would, again, if I played a couple of games now, if it would be any different at all. But I imagine I'd be making the same mistakes. But yeah, you're kind of right. Richarlison plays as a kind of almost like as a defensive striker, is in that he's got the comeback on defense instruction. So basically, it kind of allows almost having like a cam on when I'm breaking out from the back. So that's the idea behind that. It's FUT analysts 4-2-2 with the two CDMs.
Okay, yeah. So, to be fair, similar to what I play. But so the main focus of the video, I won't be doing things like teaching you certain skill moves. Like I'm not going to say, right, do an elastico in this position or do ball rolls in that position, because I think actually that's what a lot of content creators already focus on, and that very much comes into play when you're at a Div 1 or at a Goal 1 Elite tier level anyway. So first I want to get the basics right, and then naturally you should progress through to Div 2, for example, or higher in Weekend League. Hopefully the aim really for us now is to get you out of Div 3.
Sounds good. Again, the weird thing, obviously, because I haven't actually played a Weekend League this year so far, I don't even know where I'm sitting.
Yeah, true. But we'll see when you first play. But I'd probably assume you'll hit Gold 2 maybe first Weekend League, or maybe Gold 3. We'll have to wait and see.
So long as it's gold, I'm happy.
So I'll start playing the video. What team did you come up against then? So a few record breakers, Talisca. He gave you a few troubles, didn't he?
Yeah, well, I mean, Talisca, I've got that Talisca because he caused me a few troubles, but in the past. But I never seem to use him as effectively as others, which I suppose can be said. I suppose many people could say that about many players.
Okay, so starting off, passing the ball around, and you make your mistake in the first 2 minutes actually. Or make your first mistake. And I want to clip it here really, because at this point your ball is actually out wide.
Mm-hmm.
I know you're aiming for this guy over the top, but that's very ambitious, and I think the FIFA engine's just picked up a chip through ball to someone in front of you and gone to this guy, so it's a bit unfortunate. But that guy was your nice easy pass, and even doing a through ball down the line from there.
Yeah, I think actually, funnily enough, I think that might actually be just a double tapped through ball.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? It's supposed to just trying to go ahead of the player that it was ended up aiming for.
But then that's actually a really nice move.
Yeah, so that I was really happy with that and really disappointed that I didn't score. But I don't know. I think afterwards, I seem to remember thinking to myself that I should have that should have been a finesse.
I don't think you did too much wrong there. To be fair, I think the shot you tried
the aftermath.
was appropriate. But I will pick up one thing here though. It's particularly here. So you don't really do anything here, and you've only got one player to block, which is this guy. I don't think you would have blocked him anyway, but you don't seem to make any attempt to go towards him or block anything, and it's just an easy pass forward in the end. But that's not going to be the worst mistake in the world. It's just something I think as we go through and progress, pressing and cutting passing lanes will be something that comes in.
Yeah, I do believe that that's not my strongest area, as I intercept the ball.
And then you make a wrong choice here. I'll play it back. But passing to that guy when he's marked by two players doesn't give you a lot of options to drive forward. But you pick up with this guy here. You've actually got this guy running into all of this space. And once you pick the ball up with him, you can either go wide or then play a through ball to this guy. But because you pass it into him, he can't really do anything with it then. But then he can. And again, you can pass out to this guy where the space is. But you end up losing the ball, which it's easy looking at it in slow time.
Yeah, I think again, I do struggle in that, around the 18-yard box. Nice.
And that's a really good move again. No sort of bad points. I'm not sure. I tried to look back at it and I can't see if he's moving his keeper slightly to stop you. But I think it's just a case of you've messed up the shot. Do you think you did a finesse shot there?
No, I don't. I think because I got into the habit of basically hitting every shot as a finesse shot. I don't know how, but I ended up picking up that poor habit. So I'm trying to stave myself off it almost.
Yeah, but that was a good interception. But yeah, losing the ball again. So here, it's again something a bit more advanced. But you've got two options really. You try and take this guy that's coming onto you on, or something that's really helped me in my own game is using RB a lot, and I don't think you use RB at all or much to bring players closer to you.
No, it's something that I tend to do when I've got no pressure on me, coming out of defence with a defender or with a CDM, and there's no real pressure on me, and I'm just looking for somebody to come closer because I have my tactics on long ball. There does have a tendency sometimes players get too far up the pitch too quickly.
Yeah.
So I'll use it in them, but I don't use. I'd never think of using it in this situation.
But it's a good situation to bring this guy close to you, just to play a little 1-2, because at the moment he's just gonna run into an offside position. But if you press RB to bring him closer to you, you can play a little 1-2 and then use L1 pass to make the run. And we'll watch this back again in a second. Do you dive in on the initial tackle?
So the ball goes in. I've seen it, and now, right there, I'm thinking I'm close enough to do a stand tackle lunge to pop that out.
Okay.
So, but now that you're viewing it back, I'm thinking that probably a slide tackle would have been the right move there.
Possibly. I was going to say sometimes in this situation, if you're not guaranteed to get the ball, because especially this year, tackling is really difficult. Gambling this high up the pitch when the ball's that far in front of an attacker is risky, and it doesn't pay off. It's not the worst mistake in the world because it's more of a problem in the game anyway. But yeah, the better choice would have been a slide tackle or just run back with him, because you would have probably caught him him being the ball carrier, diving again there, and your keeper bails you out, mate. Very nicely.
Yeah, no, and to be honest, as soon as that first initial challenge has been broken, I'm thinking this is a goal. So I'm just, I don't know, last ditch tackle, trying to just work, basically spawn my way out of it.
And the next piece of advice I'm going to give you is something I want you to do more of, and is one of my main tips for you. And it's being able to run into the space. And what I mean is Diogo Jota now has all of this space that he can run into an attack. What's going to happen is if Diogo Jota runs down here, he needs to commit that man over. He's then free in the middle to either cross or pass to, or do a double tap pass to. It's something that you don't do that much of, is dribble. As soon as you get the ball, your first reaction is, who am I going to pass to? Who am I going to pass to? And it's not just in this space that you can dribble. It's it's in the transition phase as well, where you can just dribble a little bit, expose the space, and then make the pass. So that is my main tip, that you play less ping pong in a way, and don't be so trigger happy on the pass, and just dribble and calm down your transition play a little bit more.
Yeah, I have noticed that, in terms of, like, sometimes I do think to myself, I'm always looking for the pass, but it's because I lack so much confidence in actually, playing it and dribbling it. Because I don't believe I know I have the correct skill moves, and that little pass, that's not actually meant to happen.
Yeah, well, it actually works out really well for you, but it's lucky that it works out, because there's no way really from here that you should keep the ball. But fortunately, you do, and you actually get a really good chance from it. Yeah,
but then even still, though, I've picked the wrong option because I've cut inside, whereas I should take that on, carry that on its line, and then go near post.
Yeah, or you could always carry it on a little bit, and then even go across goal still. Just shooting across goal is so overpowered this year. But I'm not going to say too many bad things about that. Like, it's quite easy to go offside.
So that I know. So that's a player switching issue.
Yeah. No, in general, your defense is actually really good, because
I think the only. I know we were talking about this before, and you sort of said every now and then you kind of you decide to defend like a 10-year-old. And 9 times out of 10, it's because I've not switched.
Yeah. Like,
I've gone to player switch, and I'm assuming that it's going to happen.
But like, even in this little bit of play, just because you're doing it quite a lot, you're doing the right thing. So you've got Sissoko here. You're not moving the centre backs out of position. That's fine. You don't need to move to your centre back until now, and which you do. And then you auto switch with Sissoko probably, and that's unlucky. My advice, you probably know what's going to be here. Why haven't you moved this guy to the post?
Because I think this is honestly, this is probably one of the first free kicks from this angle that's been scored against me. So do you know what I mean? At the level I play at, I'm kind of I move my keeper so he's quite central behind the wall. And I think to myself, well, look, if you can score from there, good, well, fair play on you.
Yeah. Okay. Well, because that's fair enough.
I personally, in that position, if somebody goes back on the post, I'm thinking happy days, because I'm going to play a couple of 1-2 passes around here, and I'm going to score.
I guess it's fair enough.
I'd rather them take on the chance of the more difficult skill of trying to bend that up and over the wall than like what I consider to be the far easiest skill of playing a couple of passes inside the box and getting a free shot on goal, which will probably go in.
What I will say to that is, you can still, there's nothing wrong with blocking the shot and being very aware of a short pass and then moving that guy out of position. And keeping control of that guy you've tried to block the free kick with, and then trying to block the pass. But
yeah,
I do get then also at your level, it might be more beneficial to actually egg someone on and try and get them to shoot. So yeah, that is fair enough. Because you pick the ball out with like lots of space to the left, lots of space to the right. I'd be looking at moving almost to the left back and keeping an eye on where this guy goes. Because what happens is these two are taking up now the same space. So because you haven't gone left in between or right, he's out of the game because he's right next to you. But in the end, you do actually get a chance through dribbling around the guy. I'm not sure what he was doing defensively.
It's not. I was a little bit shocked that it worked, if I'm being honest.
And I think so in my notes, I've got another gamble is coming up.
Yeah.
Here, there you go. So instead of running back, you've tried to go for the tackle, and you should concede.
Yeah. I got let off twice there with old Fatty.
Again, keeping the ball. And this is actually a good example again, making use of that wide space, keeping the ball actually really well. And you're unlucky it doesn't pay off there.
Yeah, well, you see, so in that position, I feel like I've done that little through ball, and because it's not really worked, as in like I've done that to do a little through ball into Adama Traore, and because it's not really gone anywhere, I just assume that I've made that incorrect decision.
No, I think you did the right thing. Because those situations happened so quickly anyway, the only thing you could have done is maybe pause a little longer to let Adama go further in front of him. Further. But then you hold the risk of holding onto the ball too long and then getting tackled. So it's a difficult one. And you should concede your second goal. And this is, I think, unfortunate.
Yeah, that's one of those ones where I was really, and again, you look at my reaction on the camera, like this pass here, as far as I'm concerned, I'm dealing with. I'm goal side, I'm running back, and yeah, I don't understand why this happens.
Yeah, no, I was going to say, so you are doing exactly the right thing. The only criticism I would have of it is when we get to there, you then haven't adjusted the run to go across him. But this is very much because of how assisted passing works. It actually helps move this guy closer to where the pass goes.
It gives him a little speed boost.
So this is assisted passing actually doing you over, really. So this isn't too bad. Your only mistake is you try and cut in and try and intercept where you should be still running back here.
So do you think that's probably one of the main issues I have in defence? Because I've thought that sometimes I try and pressure too much. I always try and, like the things with the fatty chances in the first half, I'm seeing what's happening and I'm just doing everything I can to try and cut it out.
Yeah, it wasn't going to be my main advice to you, I must admit, or at least in one of my top tips. You have done it a few times which have led to goals. But there is a really hard balance, because if you don't press those situations that you think you can win, you might even open yourself up to more pressure and not being as good a defender. So I think you should still try and press the ball. You just need to realise when you can win it and when you can't, and you have to be more patient and track back.
Yeah.
It's mainly scenario based, because you'll probably rush in a couple times and win the ball back perfectly.
Yeah. And I must admit, a couple of times in this game, in the first half, where I kind of still did a sort of seek and destroy with Sissoko. It does feel really good.
But again, doing the right thing here, controlling the ball, controlling the player with your CDM. And I think by this point, you may have worked out that he just overcommits his defenders awfully. I've noticed you make that error in co-op games as well, where you've tried an early cross.
Yeah, I don't really know what that, because in that situation, I'm thinking, right, so because the obvious ball here is to Rodrigo, which is covering, which is why I've gone for the big one to Adama. Right now, Rodrigo at that point I played the pass, Rodrigo had beaten his man. So what I want is a cross that's going to fall, that's going to be able to put it far enough in front so the goalkeeper doesn't come out, but the defender can't get it. That's what I'm after. And I think I really struggled with that. Every single year I struggle with being in this position, say, right now, what do I do? And I kind of just, because I didn't really know what to do, I just tried to do an RB cross because I know it can be OP. But, it was more I was hoping for something other than anything else.
Okay. But yeah, RB cross was probably the right thing to do there. And yeah, that's only slightly offside.
So if RB cross is the right thing to do, why did it fail so epically?
Because I don't actually think you're too far out to do it. You might be too indented. But I'm sure you can do early crosses even as far back as here anyway. He is offside, but
yeah, well, okay, yeah. So yeah, in terms of that, yeah. So slightly incorrectly timed, but
then yeah, had he not be, it might be Adama and his stats for crossing.
See, that in that situation, what I really wanted to do was to take him on with Talisca, but I just haven't got the confidence to do it.
Yeah, I think that's what, like, nothing was really on there. You didn't have any help. You could have recycled it to the left back maybe, but I think that's more advanced anyway.
So I think this is the first time I actually get a run on.
Yeah, this is your first goal, and he must have made this mistake so many times where he's pressing with his centre back, and this is something.
I think this is the first time that there's enough space in between them that I'm confident that Rodrigo's getting that and is not getting caught.
Yeah, although I'm sure you've had this situation already 3 times already in this game where he's just overcommitted his centre back, and you have been able to go through on goal, or maybe not this high up the pitch, but you can definitely see a difference between how he's defending and he's moving his centre backs and pulling them out of position all the time, leaving you this kind of space. Whereas you're not making those mistakes. Therefore, from what's in this game, I can't believe that you end up drawing it.
We're about to find out why, my friend.
because his defence is shocking compared to yours. And this is actually the section of play where you do make a comeback. I'll pause it here for an important reason.
Distribution of goalkeepers?
I don't know how you've done this, but you've got away with it. You should have really conceded here, but yeah, never throw it to you.
Because that throw is not supposed to be going to him, my friend.
But either way, throws are very dangerous unless you've got a lot of space because of this reason, and it's because with the assisted passing, it can pick up other players to throw to. And I would just recommend always dropping the ball and distributing it with your feet or a low driven pass. I rarely throw it unless I'm going to a winger. I may throw at them who's in lots of space, but yeah, always drop it and just pass it along the floor.
Yeah, so you can see why the first time volley pass happens there, because.
And this is a really good goal.
Yeah, I enjoyed that one.
Like you do the right thing in every situation. First time pass, you pass again, see him in space, back post to Talisca, perfect.
I was really unsure of that pass into Gigi, if I'm being honest. I didn't think that. I was really unconfident that was going to make it.
Okay. No, yeah, it was good. You could have waited maybe a little bit later anyway, but it didn't really matter in the end. But with the RB cross, the only thing I would really recommend is just going in squad battles and just practicing it and learning the positions that you can do it and not do it in.
Yeah, I do think that's probably worthwhile doing, to be fair.
But like good defending, like you're on top of the game at this point.
I got lucky there. And then he's
lucky,
obviously his full-back's out, so.
But then, that's a good decision.
Yeah, and I've scored a few goals like that with Adama. Like I'm not. If I get into a narrow position with Traore, I always think, yeah, get it on his right foot and just pow it.
Yeah, you can do a few things here, but it is a perfect position to go across goal anyway. So, no issues with your shooting. Passing to this guy could be probably blocked by the AI here. So, yeah, no problem that you've gone for a shot.
I'd considered the cut back to the player who's coming on the edge, but not. I've had far too many of those get wasted. And I always think to myself, sometimes I probably should shoot more when I'm in decent opportunities as opposed to looking for the pass all the time.
Yeah, no, agree. And I wish you'd have listened to that advice again in 2 minutes' time. I think like sometimes losing the ball just because you're trying to transition too quick. But so here with Talisca, this is perfect, a cross goal. In the end.
But again, that should have been hit first time. That I get what you're saying. Yes, going across goal. But I'm a little bit concerned that I've taken it too far wide.
No, I think you can still put your foot through this. Even if Talisca's got 3-star weak foot, I'm not really sure what it is. Because of cross goal shots at OP, you can put your foot through it. I'm very impressed that this ball gets through in the first place, because the defender is a little bit, has got a yard on you at least, and he does catch up in the end. But yeah, you are unlucky not to finish it first time, and he probably should get sent off for it.
Yeah, come on. That was, yeah.
But
I'd forgotten about that,
Had you shot with Talisca, you'd be 4-2 up, cruising.
So get a little bit unfortunate there. I think at this point, he's gone 4-2-4. Yeah. And again, this one here, I think I'm really unlucky that ball doesn't get to the target.
This is both pieces of advice actually. So my other main piece of advice, which I was going to bring up towards the end, is trying to transition too quickly from your centre backs or your CDM to your striker, and you don't play it through the middle that much, and you don't pass backwards or pass sideways that much. You're very direct. And look at this guy. So Sissoko, he's got 5 yards, and he's got 20 yards in front of him.
On a 4-on-4 situation.
But you can keep his control in his left back, so you can wait until he gets here to do anything. You've got 5 minutes left on the clock. You just don't need to pass it there. You can just keep running and then do maybe a through ball to Adama Traore, who will then be through on goal further up here. And you are right. You are a bit unlucky that assisted passing tries to kind of maybe even pass to Talisca. I'm not really sure. Although you are locked on with that guy and it doesn't come off in the end.
I think I have had situations before. It might have been one of the earlier games on this stream, but like where, I've had that kind of 4-on-4 or 3-on-3 situation at the back, and I kind of try and run with the man into space, but then the closer I get, sometimes I try and just delay it too much. Like I just try and delay, and then get tackled. Again, that's probably me trying to, not obey the laws of physics.
Well, it is a hard skill to learn. It's not easy. Because you're right. You hold on to it for too long, and then you will get tackled. So you've got a free kick with 1 minute to go.
Don't.
And we already know that you draw this game, so we'll go through the mistakes.
How many can we count?
One is just trying this through ball for a start. So you can see on the radar it's not very good here, but this guy's going to come along. The fullback's going to come and block this pass and win the ball.
Well, not if he actually played it down the outside like I wanted him to.
True, but he's not in enough space because the fullback's there. He's always going to be favourite to win that ball. If he's more infield, then he's not. But your play here is to press RB and get him closer to the ball and just pass it in. So,
but can you not see? Because if you stop with your mouse, you can see. You can if that ball goes where I want that ball to go in between Lucas and the line.
Yeah.
Because I then know that Lucas's body is in between the defender and the ball.
Yeah.
So do you see what I mean? I get what you're saying, but that's an element of passing just not doing what I want it to do.
Yeah, it can depend on the kick taker as well. If you have a very good passer of the ball, then that might be possible. But it's personally not a ball that I try a lot unless I know that wing is in so much space. And this is mistake number 2. So you've been controlling your CDMs all game very well, and for whatever reason, in the last minute of the game, you decide to control your centre back, bring him close to the ball, and you've conceded the goal at that point. It's already done.
Absolutely.
And even though he doesn't really pass to the right guy.
I'm a little bit disappointed at Courtois in this as well. Like, you just look at my face, like
despair, mate, despair.
Absolute despair. I don't even know why I controlled my centre back there. My only thought process is that it was something along the lines of, because I saw too many runs happening because he had about 5 men up or whatever it was, because obviously he was going all out, and therefore that's when do you know what I mean? I was just I didn't think I was going to be able to get back in time with my CDM, so I wanted to be controlling the centre back so I could then cover the run. But of course then player switching happened and you make one mistake and it's done.
Yeah, and especially unfortunately, it was 90th minute, so it costs you as well. But I'm trying to read anything to the stats, but possession 45%, not really too surprised based on my advice to try and dribble with the ball more and not transition as quickly up the pitch. They're the 2 main pieces of advice from this. I'm not going to recommend you defending in a different way, not for now. Like, you can make improvements in loads of aspects, attack and defence, but it's mainly that transition from defence out to attack that doesn't need to be as pass as it currently is. And just when you get the ball, try and take full advantage of all the space you have on this game, because I think that's one of the biggest killers of people, is people who can take advantage of the space that people leave them, especially with how good wing players.
So basically he's run into space, because again, even like that example with Sissoko where I had so much space in transition, essentially he's just run into the space, move into the space, as simple as that really, isn't it?
Yeah. And I think just naturally doing those 2 things, you should improve them. Other things then just fall into place. But there's no point you starting to do ball rolls to keep the ball in certain positions, or even like looking at learning step overs or better player switching until you've got those basics locked down at least.
Okay, mate. I'll do my best.
I say basics. They're hard concepts, but they're worth getting right. That's my conclusion of the end of the coach assessment. It's my first one as well. So if you have got any questions, actually, you know how to DM me, mate.
Yeah, it'd be good shout if anybody's got any, because we're going to try and make this a series, aren't we? I don't know how long you want to leave it until the next one.
Hopefully we pick up in like a month's time and just see
sweet.
how you're doing, see how you're getting on with trying those 2 things really. And then looking at a game that you, hopefully in weekend league or just some game that's showing you losing or drawing or reaching your limit. I don't want a game where you've won 5-0 and everything's been easy and friendly. And pick up from there and see how you're getting on. There's like other things also to look at, custom tactics, formations, etc., based on your style of play, but that can all come out.
Yeah, sweet, awesome. Well, I think it'd be probably worth getting people to if they've got any questions related to some of the things we brought up, to get them in the comments, I imagine.
Yeah, no, please do. And hopefully people can also take away things that they may see themselves doing as well. So yeah, appreciate any comments or any feedback on how we can make these videos better. Hopefully even do them for more people at different levels, because it's quite nice doing it at like a Div 3 level, because like I said earlier in the video, so much content I think focuses on a higher level already, and ignore some of this maybe more boring stuff.
You did really well to put that down, not put that in a more derogatory term. Us Div 3 as a people too, you know.
But yeah, no, if you have tuned in, thanks for watching, guys. My next analysis video is probably going to be on a pro actually, and looking at like high level game plan, how they're scoring, how they're transitioning, how they're defending, that kind of thing. Just need to select someone first. But yeah,
Awesome.
thanks for watching and see you next time.